The red dust of Mars swirled outside the windows of Deep Space Monitoring Station 7. Inside, Jack, the night shift operator, stared at his screen with tired eyes. His 12-hour shift was almost over when the alert came in. At first, he thought it was just another space rock, but the energy readings made no sense. "This can't be right," he muttered, reaching for his lukewarm coffee. The readings showed massive energy spikes, unlike anything in their database. Following protocol, he sent an urgent message to Earth Space Command. 3 hours later, the ESC Persistence, Earth's most reliable long-range vessel, changed course to investigate. Captain Tom Harris stood on the bridge, watching the stars streak by as they pushed their engines to maximum safe speed. "Sir, we're approaching the coordinates," reported his navigation officer, Rob. "But there's something strange about the sensor readings." Tom walked over to Rob's station, his boots making soft thuds on the metal floor. The screen showed a massive disturbance in space, like a storm made of light and energy. "Full stop," Tom ordered. "Launch probes. Let's see what we're dealing with." The probe's data started flooding in, and everyone on the bridge fell silent. Hidden within the strange storm were ships, hundreds of them. But they weren't human vessels. Their designs were completely alien, with shapes that seemed to bend space itself. "Captain," called Lisa from the communication station, her voice shaking slightly. "We're picking up a transmission. Well, you should hear this." A sound filled the bridge. Not quite words, not quite music, but something in between. Then suddenly, it changed as if adapting to human language. "Request immediate assistance. This is Commander Blue of the Stellar Fleet. Our quantum drives have failed. 2 million souls are at risk. Please, if anyone receives this." Tom straightened his uniform. This was it. Humanity's first contact with alien life, and they were calling for help. "Open a channel," he ordered. "This is Captain Tom Harris of the Earth Space Command vessel Persistence. We've received your distress call. Please explain your situation." There was a pause, then the alien voice returned, clearer now. "Captain Harris, we did not expect to find intelligent life in this region. Our fleet carries refugees from the Bright Star system. Our quantum drive technology has malfunctioned, creating a cascade failure that's trapped us in this spatial anomaly. The storm is tearing our ships apart." Tom watched the sensor readings. The alien ships were massive, each one bigger than the largest human space station. Their technology was clearly far more advanced than anything humanity had built. Yet here they were, asking for help. "How long have you been trapped?" Tom asked. 36 cycles, approximately 14 of your Earth days," Commander Blue replied. "We've lost 6 ships already. Our power systems are failing. We thought this region of space was empty. We never expected, never hoped." "Send us your technical data," Tom said. "We'll need to understand what we're dealing with." As the information started coming in, Tom called engineering. "Get me Chief Engineer Maria Ross. Now." Maria arrived on the bridge a few minutes later, her work uniform stained with engine grease. She took one look at the technical readouts and whistled. "Their tech is incredible, Captain. Quantum manipulation on a scale we've only dreamed of. But..." She paused, frowning at the numbers. "But what?" "It's too complex. Too many interconnected systems. When one part failed, it created a cascade effect. Sometimes simpler is better." She looked up at Tom. "We might be able to help them, but they're not going to like how we do it." Tom turned back to the communication system. "Commander Blue, we're going to help, but I need you to trust us. Our technology may seem primitive to you, but sometimes the simplest solutions are the most effective." There was a long pause. Tom could almost feel the alien commander's desperate struggle with pride. Finally, Blue's voice came back. "We accept your help, Captain Harris. We have no choice. Please, hurry." Tom looked around at his crew, seeing determination in their eyes. Today, humanity would prove itself on an interstellar stage. Send word to Earth, he ordered. Tell them we're going to need every ship we can get, and get me a direct line to Mars colony. We're going to need their mining equipment. Outside the viewport, the quantum storm raged on, while inside its grasp, 2 million aliens waited to see if the primitive humans could save them from their own advanced technology. The meeting room aboard the Persistence was crowded. Captain Tom Harris watched as engineer Maria Ross used simple hand gestures to explain complex problems to Commander Blue, whose tall, silvery form towered over the human crew. Think of it like this, Maria said, holding up 2 magnets. Your quantum drives work by bending space, but when they failed, they created a sort of whirlpool that's pulling your ships apart. She pushed the magnets together, then watched them snap apart. Blue's color shifted slightly, a sign they had learned meant worry. Yes, we lost another ship during the night. 300 families. They didn't finish the sentence. Tom stepped forward. Show us your fleet formation. Blue waved a long, elegant arm, and a hologram appeared above the table. 300 ships hung in space, arranged in a spiral pattern. Red markers showed where ships had already been lost. The outer ships are being torn apart first, Maria noted, pointing to the pattern. The quantum storm is getting stronger. Correct, Blue said. Our remaining power goes to our shields, but they won't last much longer. They hesitated. We did not expect help from, forgive me, but from such a young species. Tom smiled. Sometimes fresh eyes see old problems differently. Maria, explain your idea. Maria placed a simple rope on the table next to the hologram. We can't stop the quantum storm. It's too powerful. But we don't need to. We just need to pull your ships out, one by one. Blue's color shifted to a deeper shade. Pull. With what? Your ships are tiny compared to ours. Size isn't everything, Maria said. We use these cables to pull asteroids twice the size of your ships. The Mars mining fleet has hundreds of them. If we link our ships together... Impossible, Blue interrupted. The storm will tear apart anything that enters it. Not if we modify the cables with your shield technology, Maria countered. We've studied your data. Your shields work perfectly. It's just your drives that failed. If we combine your shields with our cables... Tom watched Blue process this information. He could almost see the internal struggle. Their civilization was centuries ahead of Earth's, yet here they were, being offered help with what must seem like stone tools to them. The numbers don't lie, Commander, Tom said softly. Your ships are failing. We've called every available ship from Earth and Mars. They'll be here in 12 hours. The only question is, will your pride let us help you? Blue moved to the window, staring out at their trapped fleet. 2 million people, they said quietly. 2 million refugees who trusted me to find them a new home. Our own colonies refused to accept so many refugees. We were searching for an empty system to settle. They turned back to face the humans. And instead, we found you. Maria stepped forward, holding up her tablet. Look at these readings. The storm is growing stronger. At this rate, you'll lose 10 more ships before tomorrow. Those are families, Commander. Let us help them. Blue was silent for a long moment. Then their color changed to a bright, clear tone the humans hadn't seen before. Very well. Show me these cables of yours. Show me how you would modify them. For the next hour, Maria explained the rescue plan in detail. She used simple drawings and basic physics principles that any human child would understand. With each explanation, Blue's color grew brighter. It's so simple, they finally said. We became so focused on quantum mechanics and space-time manipulation that we forgot the basic laws of physics still apply. Simple isn't bad, Tom said. Simple means fewer things can go wrong. Suddenly, alarms blared throughout the ship. Rob's voice came over the speaker. Captain, 3 more alien ships are showing critical structural damage. Tom looked at Blue. We're out of time for discussion. Are we doing this? Blue stood tall, their color now a brilliant, determined shade. Yes. Tell us what you need us to do, Captain. We will follow your lead. Tom nodded and hit the ship's comm button. All hands, battle stations. This isn't a drill. We're about to attempt the biggest rescue mission in human history. Let's show our new friends what humanity can do. Outside, the quantum storm raged on, but now there was hope. Sometimes the simplest solutions were the best ones, and humanity was about to prove it. The first human rescue ships arrived faster than anyone expected. Within 10 hours, 50 mining vessels from Mars lined up near the Persistence, their heavy-duty cables gleaming in the starlight. Engineer Maria Ross stood in the cargo bay of the Persistence, surrounded by both human and alien engineers. She held up one of the modified cables, its surface now glowing with a faint blue light from the alien shielding technology. "The shield layer is holding," she said, running a scanner over the cable. "But we need to test it before we risk any ships." One of the alien engineers, whom the humans had nicknamed Red because of their usual color, moved closer to examine the cable. "Our shields were never meant to work this way," they said. "This is unusual." Maria smiled. "Sometimes unusual works. Look." She activated the shield, and the cable became surrounded by a protective bubble. "Your shield technology is amazing. We just needed to think about it differently." In the command center above, Captain Tom Harris watched the testing through the observation window. Commander Blue stood beside him, their color shifting between shades of uncertainty. "Your people work quickly," Blue noted, watching more human ships arrive. "But these are mining vessels. They pull rocks, not ships. Rocks that are bigger than your ships," Tom reminded them. "And unlike rocks, your ships can help with their own rescue. We just need to work together." A small test probe was brought out. The humans had attached one of the modified cables to it, and now they were ready to see if it could survive the quantum storm. Maria's voice came over the comm. "Ready for test 1, Captain." "Proceed," Tom ordered. Everyone watched as the probe moved toward the edge of the storm. The cable trailing behind it glowed brighter as the shield activated. When the probe hit the storm's edge, there was a flash of light. "Shield is holding," Maria reported. "Cable integrity at 100%. For the first time, Blue's color showed a shade the humans had learned meant hope. It works." "Of course it works," Tom said with a smile. "Now comes the hard part. We need your people to trust us enough to let us attach these cables to their ships." Blue was quiet for a moment. "They are scared. We have lived with advanced technology all our lives. To trust in something so basic." "Basic doesn't mean bad," came a new voice. Everyone turned to see Red entering the command center. The alien engineer's color was bright with excitement. "Captain, Engineer Ross's design is brilliant because it is simple. Our complex systems failed us, but this could work." Blue's color shifted rapidly as they conversed with Red in their own language. Tom waited patiently. He had learned that sometimes the best way to build trust was to give people time to accept new ideas. Finally, Blue turned back to Tom. "We will send word to the fleet, but perhaps we could do a full test first. With my personal shuttle." Tom nodded. "Agreed. Maria, prep the cable system. We're going to do a live test." Over the next hour, they carefully attached the modified cable to Blue's shuttle. It was small compared to the refugee ships, but successfully rescuing it would prove the concept. Maria supervised the connection personally, working alongside Red to ensure everything was perfect. As they worked, she noticed something interesting. "You know," she said to Red, "your shield technology and our cable systems, they work together like they were made for each other. Different approaches, but compatible goals." Red's color brightened. "Perhaps that is true of our peoples as well." In the command center, final preparations were underway. The shuttle was positioned, the cable was secured, and everyone was ready. "All ships, stand by," Tom ordered. "Blue, are you ready?" Blue's color was steady now, showing determination. "Yes, my people are watching, "Captain, show them what humanity can do." Tom looked out at the quantum storm, then at the gathered human ships, their cables ready. This was the moment that would decide everything. If they could save this shuttle, they could save the fleet. If they failed, he pushed that thought away. "Begin rescue operation," he ordered. "Nice and steady. Let's show them how humanity handles a crisis." The cable went taut, the shield glowed bright, and humanity's first attempt to save an alien ship began. The successful rescue of Commander Blue's shuttle changed everything. Within hours, the mood throughout the alien fleet shifted from doubt to cautious hope. Now, the real work could begin. Captain Tom Harris stood before a mixed crowd of human and alien crew members in the Persistence's main cargo bay. Behind him, a large screen showed the current positions of all 300 alien ships trapped in the quantum storm. "We have 96 Earth ships and 42 Mars mining vessels," Tom announced. "That means we need to work in teams. Each human ship will pair with 3 alien vessels for coordination." Engineer Maria Ross stepped forward, pointing to a diagram. "The outer ships are in the most danger. We'll start with them and work our way in." Commander Blue moved to the front, their color a steady, determined shade. "My people are ready. We've distributed the shield modifications to all ships. But the storm..." They paused, their color flickering with worry. "Show them," Tom said quietly. Blue waved their hand, and the display changed to show the storm's energy readings. They were much higher than before. "The storm is getting stronger," Blue explained. "We estimate 36 hours before the outer ships begin breaking apart. We must work quickly." Maria nodded and held up one of the modified cables. "Each cable needs 3 minutes to attach properly. The shield sync takes another 2 minutes. That means 5 minutes per ship minimum." A murmur went through the crowd. Someone did the quick math. 5 minutes per ship, 300 ships. "That's 25 hours of continuous operations," Rob, the navigation officer, said, "assuming nothing goes wrong." "Something always goes wrong," Maria replied. "That's why we have backups." She pointed to another diagram. "Each ship will have 2 cables attached. If one fails, the second will hold, and every team will have a backup ship standing by." Tom watched as human and alien crew members studied the plans. He saw worry on every face, but also determination. They all knew the stakes. "There's one more thing," Maria continued. "The quantum storm affects our communications. Once you're inside the storm's edge, you'll be on your own. Standard radio won't work." This caused more concerned murmurs, but Red, the alien engineer, stepped forward. "We have a solution," they said. Their color brightened with pride. "We've modified our quantum communicators to work with human systems. Short range only, but enough to coordinate between nearby ships." Tom smiled. This was what he'd hoped for. Both species working together, each contributing their strengths. "Every rescue team will have both human and alien crew members," he announced. "We do this together." The next hour was spent forming teams and running final checks on the equipment. Tom walked among them, watching humans and aliens working side by side, teaching each other their methods and technologies. He found Maria checking cable connections with Red. "How do they look?" he asked. "Better than we hoped," Maria replied. "The alien shield technology actually improves our cable strength by 40%. Who would have thought our primitive mining equipment would work so well with their advanced technology?" Red's color shifted to what Tom had learned was their version of amusement. "Perhaps it is not about how advanced the technology is, but how well you understand it. We had forgotten that simple truth." A warning alarm sounded. Another alien ship was showing signs of structural stress. Tom straightened his uniform. "Time to move," he announced over the ship's comm. "All rescue teams to your stations. This is not a drill." He watched as crews rushed to their ships, humans and aliens, moving with shared purpose. On the main screen, he could see the rescue ships taking position around the quantum storm's edge. their modified cables gleaming with the blue light of alien shields. "All teams report ready," Rob announced from his station. Tom took a deep breath. This was it. Humanity's biggest rescue mission ever attempted. 300 ships, 2 million lives, and less than 36 hours to save them all. "Begin Operation Lighthouse," he ordered. "Let's bring them home." Around the Persistence, cables began to extend toward the quantum storm, their shields glowing brighter as they approached the swirling energy field. The rescue of the alien fleet had begun. The first rescue attempt began just as the quantum storm sent out another powerful wave of energy. On the bridge of the Persistence, Captain Tom Harris watched as the mining ship Rockbreaker approached the outermost alien vessel. "Shield status?" he asked, his eyes fixed on the screens. "Shields holding at 92%, reported Rob from his station. "Cable integrity is good." The Rockbreaker's modified cables stretched out, their alien shield technology giving them a beautiful blue glow against the darkness of space. Everyone held their breath as the cables made contact with the damaged alien ship. "Connection successful," came the excited voice of the Rockbreaker's captain. "Beginning pull sequence." Tom watched as the mighty mining ship engaged its engines. At first, nothing seemed to happen. The alien vessel, 3 times the size of the Rockbreaker, remained trapped in the storm's grasp. "More power," Maria advised from her engineering station. "The storm is fighting us." The Rockbreaker's engines glowed brighter, their power output climbing. Slowly, incredibly slowly, the alien ship began to move. "It's working." Red's color flashed with excitement. "The ship is responding." For 5 tense minutes, they watched as the Rockbreaker pulled. Finally, with a flash of energy, the alien ship broke free of the storm. Cheers erupted across all channels. "First ship secure," Tom announced. "1 down, 299 to go. Next teams, move in." Over the next few hours, a steady rhythm developed. Mining ships would move in, attach their cables, and pull. Some rescues went smoothly. Others required multiple attempts. But one by one, ships were being saved. "Rescue count is at 27, Rob reported. "All ships successful so far." Commander Blue, who had been quietly watching, suddenly shifted color. "Captain, look at these readings." Tom moved to Blue's station. The quantum storm was changing, its energy patterns becoming more erratic. "The storm doesn't like losing its prey," Maria observed, studying the data. "It's getting stronger with each ship we pull out." As if to prove her point, a massive energy surge erupted from the storm. 3 rescue ships had to quickly back away, their shields flaring. "All teams, be advised," Tom broadcast. "Storm intensity is increasing. Double-check your shield synchronization before attempting any more pulls." Red moved to the engineering station, their color showing concern. "The storm's energy signature is changing. It's almost like it's learning." "Learning?" Tom asked. "Adapting," Red clarified. "Finding the weaknesses in our shield design." Maria was already moving. "Then we adapt too. Red, help me modify the shield frequency. We need to stay ahead of it." Tom watched as human and alien engineers worked together, making quick adjustments to protect the rescue ships. Time was critical now. They had saved less than 1/10 of the fleet, and the storm was getting worse. "Captain," Rob called out, 3 more ships reporting critical hull stress. They won't last much longer. Tom made a quick decision. Divide the rescue teams. Half continue with the current plan, half focus on those critical ships. We're not losing anyone today. The rescue operation split into 2 groups. Some ships continued methodically saving the outer vessels, while others raced to reach the most damaged ships before they broke apart. "Hull breach on alien vessel 714, someone shouted. "Rockbreaker moving to assist," came the immediate response. "Emergency cables ready." Tom watched as the human mining ship charged forward, its engines pushed beyond safety limits. The alien ship was starting to break up, pieces of its hull trailing behind it like fallen stars. "Come on," Tom whispered, watching the rockbreaker's cables stretch out. "Come on." The cables connected just as a large section of the alien ship's hull tore away. For a moment, everyone thought they were too late. Then the rockbreaker's engines flared brilliant white, and both ships began to move. "Got them," the rockbreaker's captain shouted. "Hulls barely holding, but we've got them." A cheer went up across the fleet. Another ship saved, another victory against the storm. But Tom could see the strain showing on every face, human and alien alike. They had saved 30 ships, but hundreds more remained trapped, and the storm was getting stronger by the minute. "Keep going," he ordered. "We've proved it can be done. Now we just need to do it 270 more times." Outside, the quantum storm raged on, but humanity's determination burned brighter. They would save them all, no matter what it took. 18 hours into Operation Lighthouse, everything went wrong. The quantum storm, which had been growing stronger with each rescue, suddenly erupted with unprecedented force. Multiple shield failures. Rob shouted from his station on the Persistence's bridge. "We're losing cables on 6 rescue ships." Captain Tom Harris watched in horror as the storm's energy tore through their defenses. The modified cables, which had worked so well until now, were starting to fail. "All ships, fall back," he ordered. "Emergency retreat. Now." But it was too late for some. The mining ship Atlas was caught in the storm surge, its cables still attached to an alien vessel. Both ships were being pulled deeper into the quantum storm. "Atlas, cut your cables," Tom commanded. "Negative, Captain," came the response. "We cut cables. This alien ship breaks apart. There are 4,000 people aboard." Engineer Maria Ross rushed to her station, hands flying over the controls. "Their shields are failing." 2 minutes before total collapse. Commander Blue's color had gone almost white with fear. "Captain, the storm, it's reached critical intensity. The models show it's about to collapse in on itself." "What happens then?" Tom demanded. "Everything inside the storm's radius will be crushed," Blue replied quietly. "All the remaining ships, all those people." Tom looked at the numbers. They had rescued 140 ships, but that still left over 160 trapped in the storm, including his own people now. "Maria, options." Maria was working frantically with Red, both human and alien engineer pushing their combined knowledge to its limits. "The storm's gotten too strong for the shields," she said. "But maybe that's the answer." "Explain," Tom ordered. "It's like a pressure cooker," Maria said quickly. "The storm keeps getting stronger because it's concentrated in a smaller space as we remove ships. But if we could make it release that pressure all at once." Red's color brightened with understanding. "Yes, like puncturing a balloon." "We need a focal point," Maria continued. "Something to draw the storm's energy, and then release it all at once. But it would have to be." "The command ship," Blue interrupted. Their color was now steady, showing grim determination. "My ship is at the center of the fleet. It has the strongest quantum core. We could use it to attract the storm's energy, then overload our dry systems." "That would destroy your ship," Tom protested. "Better one ship than the entire fleet," Blue replied. "My crew has already evacuated to other vessels. I will remain to trigger the overload." "No," Tom said firmly. "We're not sacrificing anyone. Maria, if we used the Persistence's power systems to boost the command ship's shields." Maria's eyes lit up. "Link our power grid to theirs. Yes, we could create a channel for the storm's energy to follow, like a lightning rod. But we'd have to get dangerously close to the command ship," Rob warned, "right in the heart of the storm." Tom looked out at the chaos before them. The Atlas was still struggling. Other rescue ships were barely maintaining their positions, and the storm was getting worse by the second. "All rescue ships continue evacuation," he ordered. "Focus on the outer edges. The Persistence will handle the core ships." He turned to his crew. This is volunteer only. What we're about to try. We're with you, Captain, Rob interrupted. The rest of the bridge crew nodded in agreement. I'm going too, Blue announced. My ship. My responsibility. Tom knew there was no time to argue. Maria, Red, get to engineering. Make whatever modifications you need. We launch in 5 minutes. As his crew rushed to their stations, Tom watched the storm grow even more violent. The Atlas was still fighting, refusing to let go of the alien ship it was trying to save. That was humanity at its best, refusing to give up, refusing to leave anyone behind. Plot a course to the command ship, he ordered, right through the heart of the storm. The Persistence's engines hummed to life. They had one chance to save everyone. One chance to prove that humanity's greatest strength wasn't technology, but the unwavering determination to help others, no matter the cost. All hands, brace for impact, Tom announced. We're going in. The Persistence plunged into the heart of the quantum storm, its hull groaning under the intense pressure. On the bridge, Captain Tom Harris held tight to his chair as the ship shuddered violently. Shield status. He shouted over the noise. 30%. Rob called back. We're losing power fast. Beside Tom, Commander Blue's color flickered wildly as they watched their command ship grow larger in the view screen. The massive alien vessel was barely visible through the storm's swirling energy. Engineering status, Tom demanded. Maria's voice crackled through the damaged comm system. Power linkage is ready. Red and I modified the connections. We just need to get closer. Another surge rocked the ship. Warning alarms blared as systems began to fail. Hull breach on deck 4. Someone shouted. Seal it. Tom ordered. Keep going. Through the chaos, they received a transmission from the Atlas, still struggling at the edge of the storm. Captain, we got them. Alien ship is secure, but we can't hold much longer. Tom allowed himself a small smile. Even in the worst conditions, his people refused to give up. Distance to command ship, he asked. 500 meters, Rob reported. But these readings, Captain, the storm is about to collapse. Engineering, stand by. Tom looked at Blue. Ready? Blue's color showed pure determination. Ready. My ship's quantum core is primed to overload on your mark. The Persistence pushed forward, fighting against the storm's fury. 400 meters. 300. The ship's hull screamed in protest. 200 meters. Rob announced. We're losing structural integrity. Now, Tom ordered. Maria, do it. In engineering, Maria and Red worked together, their movements perfectly synchronized. They activated the power linkage, connecting the Persistence's human technology to the alien command ship's quantum systems. For a moment, nothing happened. Then the storm's energy began to move, drawn toward the combined power of the two ships like water down a drain. It's working, Maria shouted. The storm is being channeled through our systems. On the bridge, everyone watched in awe as the quantum storm's destructive energy flowed into the alien command ship's core. The massive vessel began to glow with contained power. Core temperature critical. Blue warned. We need to release the energy now. Tom hit the ship-wide comm. All ships clear the area. Emergency jump now. Around them, the remaining rescue ships activated their engines, pulling the last alien vessels to safety. The Atlas, damaged but triumphant, limped away with its precious cargo. Everyone's clear. Rob reported. Blue, now. Tom ordered. Blue activated their ship's systems. The command ship's quantum core opened, releasing the storm's energy in a controlled burst. Space itself seemed to bend as the energy dispersed harmlessly into the void. The shockwave hit the Persistence like a hammer. Systems failed across the ship as they were thrown backward. Damage report. Tom called out when the ship stopped spinning. Everything's broken, Maria replied through the static. But we're alive. As emergency power came back on, they could finally see through the view screen again. Where the quantum storm had been, There was now only empty space. The alien command ship hung motionless but intact. "All ships report in," Tom ordered. One by one, the responses came back. Every rescue ship had survived. More importantly, every alien vessel they'd been trying to save had made it. Blue's color showed pure joy as they received the final counts. 162 ships saved in the final operation, combined with the earlier rescues. They turned to Tom. "Captain, you did it. You saved our entire fleet. Every single ship." Tom shook his head. "We did it. Humans and aliens working together. That's what made this possible." As repair crews got to work, Tom looked out at the scattered fleet of human and alien ships. Already, rescue vessels were moving to help the damaged ships, not caring whether they were human or alien. "What now?" he asked Blue. The alien commander's color shifted to a warm, grateful shade. "We still need a home for our people. Perhaps Earth would be willing to help with that too." Tom smiled. "I think that can be arranged. After all, today proved something important." "What's that?" Blue asked. "That the universe is better when we work together. Different species, different technologies, different ways of thinking. But when we combine our strengths, there's nothing we can't accomplish." Around them, human and alien ships began moving into formation for the journey back to Earth. Today marked not just a rescue, but the beginning of something new. A future where humanity and their new alien friends would face the challenges of space together.